Camacho Quinn bidding to become. I was surprised by this because I'd forgotten. I thought Javier Coulson of Puerto Rico had taken gold in the men's 4, but I checked this morning and it was 2 silvers. So Puerto Rico are still waiting for their first gold medal in athletics at the World Championship. So history beckons for Camacho Quinn. She's won 14 out of her 15 races this year, and the only race she's lost was to Alicia Johnson, who crashed out yesterday. But Kenny Harrison and Tobi AMUSAN and the likes of Aaliyah Armstrong and Megan Tapper of Jamaica, Danielle Williams of Jamaica, they will all fancy. They can stop the Puerto Rican doubling up her Olympic title with the world title. Well, Gail Devers is down in what we call the mixed zone. Gail, the cameras at the moment are focusing in on Kenny Harrison, and do you think, as a result of getting on the podium in Doha and pushing Camacho Quinn so close last year, do you think she's got over the worst of her nerves? Because there was a spell where she would run brilliantly in single one-off meets and then crumble a little bit under the pressure when the big occasions came along.
I cannot hear.
Well, I'll try that one more time, and if not, I'll bring Dan O'Brien next to me in the commentary box into the equation. Let's see if the gremlins have been eradicated. Gail Devers, I hope you can hear me. If you can, I'm just interested to get your thoughts on Kenny Harrison, a brilliant single event performer, but with that Olympic silver and the silver in Doha 3 years ago, do you think she's banished those nerves, and do you think she's in a position where she can now produce her best in the big finals?
Oh, I definitely agree. I mean, you watched her in her semifinals, you watched her at nationals, and she's been doing an extremely great job of getting out and keeping those nerves at bay. When people come up on the side of her, she has learned how to stay what we call tunnel vision, stay in her zone, and just execute the race. I saw a couple of her practices with her coach Eldrick, and that's what they were focusing on: skimming the hurdles, getting right off the hurdles, and keep moving throughout the finish line.
Great stuff there from Gail Devers. I'm glad we managed to twiddle the buttons around so that she could hear me. And Dan O'Brien alongside me. You know, one of my abiding memories of Kendra Harrison, I was so impressed, having crashed out of the US trials in 2016. I was working at the Grand Prix in London, and she broke the world record. And it was an extraordinarily strange moment to think, we've got a newly crowned world record holder who is not about to get on the plane to Rio. But I thought that showed a real touch of class from her so soon after such a big disappointment.
Well, a lot of times after that big disappointment, it takes the pressure off. And we've had a lot of great athletes come through college and think that they can go to the next level and be pro and just never lose a race. You know, but I'll tell you, in 1992, when I didn't make that team, it was like the weight of the world was lifted off my shoulders, and my next competition was my absolute best one.
Well, let's see whether Kendra Harrison can produce the goods here. Danielle Williams goes in this one. She got a slow start in her heat and didn't come through to win it, which is why perhaps this semi-final is so loaded. And I mentioned Tobi AMUSAN. She was the fastest qualifier, just off the podium in Doha, just off the podium in Tokyo, but she ran, there she is, but she ran 12:40 flat yesterday and looked absolutely brilliant. No Nigerian woman has won an individual gold. Maybe this is destined to be her night. But first, she has to make it into the final. The first of 3 semi-finals coming up.
In each of the 3 semi-finals, plus the next 2. So lanes 1 to 8 are due to be occupied.
A brilliant attendance tonight. Just gone 5 o'clock local time, so a few people still making their way into the stadium where the home straight is enjoying some shade from this relentless sun. Meiko Fukubi, national champion, Asian junior champion a few years ago, very close to her PB in the heats. Kitaji Kambunji, younger sister to Munjinga, European junior champion. She was next to Danielle Williams in the heat and is next to her here in the semis. The gold medalist in Beijing got a bronze in Doha. She's the 8th fastest in history, but needs a better start than she got in the heats. The African and Commonwealth champion with an area record yesterday, 12:40. Can Tobi AMUSAN overcome the pressure and get herself in the big final again.
In lane number 5.
Cindy Sember of Great Britain, European Indoor Silver last year. She's bounced back from quite a few injuries, some troubled years since she finished 4th in Rio. She looks like she's coming back to peak form.
Lane number 6.
The world record holder.
From the USA.
A brace of silver medals in the last 2 global outdoor finals. She will believe this is her turn to upgrade to gold. She's the fastest woman in the world this year. Michelle Jenica always bounces around and always smiles. A 3rd in Heat 6, good qualification from the double Commonwealth finalist from Australia. And on the outside, the Pan American champion, Andrea Carolina Vargas of Costa Rica. 5th in Doha, where she ran a national record in the final. She was 3rd in Heat 4. And will certainly, you would think, have to beat her season's best to get in the final. Fukubi of Japan in 1, Kambunji Switzerland 2, Williams Jamaica 3, AMUSAN Nigeria 4, Sember Great Britain 5, Harrison USA 6, Jenica Australia 7, Vargas Costa Rica in 8. The first of 3 semi-finals in the women's sprint hurdles. Harrison will be 3rd from the left-hand side. She is the fastest woman in the world this year, and she is the world record holder. Kenny Harrison got a good start. It's pretty even at the moment. Now the American coming away, and so too Tobi AMUSAN in the middle. And Danielle Williams for Jamaica running well. AMUSAN from Harrison, and Williams will have to wait and see. 12-12. That is astonishing. I can hardly believe what I've just seen. That is a massive, massive world record. She's looking at the clock to see if it was a mistake. But it wasn't. It's been confirmed. Kenny Harrison has run one of the fastest times in history, and she was over 1/10 of a second behind. A massive, massive world record in the semi-final. Tobi AMUSAN has just electrified the stadium. Half the people are still making their way into their seats. Some of them thought the clock had stopped early. It was an incredible run, but we didn't think it was that good. How on earth does she now focus on winning the gold medal after storming to a world record? Utterly astonishing from the Nigerian. Gail Devers, have you ever seen a race like that in the semi-finals?
Yesterday, when she ran her first heat, she was saying that it was so hard for her to slow down because people were wondering why did she run 12:40. But when you're on fire, it is hard to slow yourself down. So she didn't expect to run the 12:12, but you saw her mechanics. She kept running, and when she and Kenny Harrison were on the side of each other, what she did so well was she got her lead leg down and she ran away. What we talk about is pitch, reverse, and run away. And that was a clinic in how you run the 100-meter hurdles. Now she just has to settle herself down and come back and repeat. And she can do it.
I'm just looking down the results. AMUSAN with the world record. Cindy Sember of Great Britain, 12.5, a national record in 4th. Jenica of Australia in 5th, PB. Kambunji in 6th, Switzerland, PB. Fukubi, Japan, national record in 8th. Dan O'Brien, I'm not sure any of us were predicting that in the semi-finals. She clearly just ran on instinct. And how difficult will it be for her to put that out of her mind and focus on winning the gold, something no Nigerian woman has ever done in the World Championship before?
Well, I was keeping the focus on Kenny Harrison on the outside, but I noticed that Tobi AMUSAN, she really was up and running so well in the middle of the race. Look at this posture. The head position is really great. Quick arm. She gets back down onto the ground, just stepping it out. And I thought, well, this should be a good run for Kenny. Kenny did a good job of not focusing to the lane in her left, but it's going to be difficult for her just to settle down. But she has time now to go underneath the stadium, relax, take those sweats off, and repeat the whole thing. But what's interesting is I want to know if the ladies underneath had a chance. Did Jasmine Camacho Quinn get a chance to see that race?
Well, surely she would have been watching in the bowels of the stadium somewhere. Tobi AMUSAN in the semi-final has smashed the world record. Kendra Harrison finishes second. She has, though, got a place in the final, and Williams and Semba with 12:41 and 12:50 must surely have a great chance of going through as the two non-automatic qualifiers. Right. Right in the middle there. Let's have a look at the heat map. So she is hitting the top and pretty much staying there. You're right, you know, Harrison ran well because the world record is utterly astonishing, but the ultimate goal in this event is to win the gold medal. So the job is not done yet for AMUSAN, who barely faltered and moved less than top speed. Right, Dan, the answer to the question, what did the others make of it?